Angela Duckworth, who is an author, a psychologist, you know the book Grit, yeah?
I know of it, I haven't read it.
Of it, okay. She said feedback is a gift, but most people don't know how to unwrap it.
Sure, yeah.
Look, man,
That's so good.
I recently commented on your stuff on TikTok. I love your work. I really do. I was in stitches. Okay, this guy is hilarious. No, really. His work is absolutely hilarious, and I can't believe I just met you recently. So the question is, are you your biggest fan or are you your biggest critic?
I think it's a combination of both. When you started off, I think it was maybe the first take, I don't know, but you said that there's that fear of rejection. I think a lot of people suffer with the fear of being alienated, because at the end of the day, like the shares, the likes, it's almost acceptance that, you know, you did something good, you can be. But I was alienated all my life, so it never really bugged me. I don't really have an answer. Most of the time when people ask me, or when they meet me and they're like, I know you from TikTok, I usually apologize, start off by saying, I'm sorry.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. It's just like, because that's me. That's something I would say. Even if I'm not necessarily sorry, I just think it's funny. Something I'd say.
But you are quite satirical in your delivery.
Yeah, that's partly because I grew up in a very sarcastic household. So as a result, I do think to a point there are certain boundaries that I can't cross. There's certain things that I believe in that I'll never talk about. Or go against. There's certain beliefs that can't change, like when it comes to GBV or racism or even religious beliefs that I will never cross. But at the same time, I have to also understand that I'm on my own journey. I'm one person today, I'm going to be another person tomorrow. If I screw up today, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stick with me. So a bit of both.
A bit of both. Fair enough. Ofense, earlier on you spoke about just that feedback, that, you know, the criticism, etc. And I would like Kabelo to just pick up on this. What is your mental chatter when you do receive negative feedback?
Sure. I don't think I've received a lot of negative feedback, but it's important for you to understand who you are. I think we start with identity for me. It's important for me to know who I am. It's important for me to understand who I am and to understand that people's responses, people's feedback, they don't make me who I am. I love what you said. Feedback, we don't sometimes know how to unwrap it. It's a beautiful gift. And so I have a community, so it would be my sisters, it's my husband. If I get like feedback that's quite negative, I have someone who I can speak to about. So, babe, this is feedback I'm getting. What do you think about it? Do you think it's something I can take and look into? Or is it something I can ignore and just put to the side? Because he knows me really well. My sisters know me really well. These are people I trust. So I think sometimes when you are on social media and you're a content creator, it's so good to have people you trust, people who know you, your community, your people. So that if someone has to say something really negative about you, you have those people who are there to comfort you or to realign you, to remind you of who you are. Because like you were saying, sometimes we have our own beliefs and sometimes we think a certain way. It doesn't mean, like on social media, you can't not be yourself. And sometimes being yourself can come against other people. You're constantly going to get that backlash. So you have to have this balance where, yes, I understand there are critical, things that I won't talk about, things that I won't go against, things that I won't mention. But I still have to be myself and I still have to maintain that on social media. And whether people agree with me or not, that's okay. That's fine. I respect that, but this is who I am. So yeah, going back to your question, it's important to know who you are. When you know who you are and you have that community that's for you, that community you cry to, because it's not always easy. Someone will say something, oh my gosh, did you see her nose? Or oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And you have to have people who will just remind you, hey, this is who you are. This is your why. This is why you're on social media. Continue.
What's helped me is the ability to differentiate between destructive and constructive.
Very good.
Yeah.
Destructive feedback is someone saying to you, you should quit, you are not good. Constructive feedback is, I've seen your work before and this really wasn't your best work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you can do better.
Yeah.
Bring it next time. But this, it just didn't cut.
Yeah.
You see, and where we go wrong is when we dissect even the constructive feedback, we destroy it within ourselves.
Yeah.
So we still are like, oh man, so this person means I'm really not good. Already you're taking ownership of something that was meant to be constructive as a gift.
Yeah.
You are now turning it because within yourself, you're not aware of who you are and the power that you truly possess. You know, so,
Good.
sorry, am I preaching?
No,
No, you're doing good. It's good. Keep going.
Good job.
All right, let's keep going.
Do you mind if I comment on that? So do you remember that dance that was going around, the one that I did in the bathroom?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, yeah.
So with the whole feedback thing, the way I look at it is, whenever I see a message from anyone, it doesn't matter who you are, I'm imagining that it came from Wyatt, or it came from Reese, or it came from my brother or my sister or somebody. It came from a friend. So I did like the dance or whatever. And they have a thing about me because I'm very reserved, and I'm like, they're like, we need more energy. And there was somebody who were like, you not have enough energy, blah, blah, blah. Wow. So I just I took a spin on it. I had to take the videos down because my mom shouted at me. But but then the next one, I did it with like an unnecessary amount of energy. And instead of like being like, oh, these people don't like the way I behave or whatever, I was just like, you know what? It came from a friend. I may as well make it a joke. And it ended up doing well.
On that, I think there's another thing of you on no one deserves the energy you don't want to give. Yeah. So if someone tells you or says something horrible to you and you know it's not constructive, don't even respond to it. Just leave it. Or if you're gonna respond to it, make it a whole joke about it because that's how you are.
Tando, your pictures on Instagram are gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And you know, I was thinking about it to say, what sort of things did you or do you still, you know, have to brave soon after posting a particular picture? And I'll substantiate why I say that. I'll give an example since we're all being brave. You know, it took me so many years to pluck up the courage to share a picture of me in swimwear at the beach, shot by my husband on holiday. It took me years because I was gripped by the, you know, abantu bazothini and what will people think? And we know people were often referring to bazalwane, you know, spiritually inclined folk. You know, so I was so worried about their perception. We're going back to perception of me. Then I was, you know, I was so happy with the way I looked. I was like, 2 kids later, oh my gosh, you know. But again, the perception of what they think of me was far more consuming in my mind than just me relishing in the moment that I was courageous enough to share a beautiful picture. So what are you braving intrinsically as you share?
It honestly was the likes. The likes were getting super annoying, and mainly because that's our metric with brand. Like that's what they'll just look at, the likes, and it's like, but no, there's so much more. Like look at the quality I'm bringing you. Look at the messaging I'm bringing you. Like all parts of the marketing brand tools that I'm bringing you. But you guys just want to focus on the likes, and obviously that's just because our industry wasn't as isn't as regulated and formalized, so it just gives them so little to work on. So I have that pressure of delivering it on that so little, whereas I actually have given so much because it is so much to create one image. I mean, the thinking behind it, the styling, the clothes we invest in, the makeup, everything, like it's just crazy. Hence I've switched off the light.
I didn't even know that was available to me. You can switch off the lights. I know the comments you can. So it's just what you don't see anything.
My audience doesn't see the likes, and it also helps me just I'm not seeing likes on anyone else's post.
Neither.
It just says and others.
I'm breathing. It just says and others.
Liked by someone and others.
And others.
It's giving me peace.
I like that as well. I didn't know.
Mine's like that as well.
Wow.
I switched it.
Because you can't base your value on likes. And the thing is, I know my value is not on likes. So let me press on that and actually make sure I remove that element that is making me a bit shaky in some areas. You know, because this is how we make a living. It will affect you. You can't say the likes don't affect you. It will affect you. It's how we live. It's our daily bread.
It's become currency.
It's currency.
They used to affect me, but not anymore. It comes with growth. I've grown, so I was like, you know what? Whether they like my post or not, I'm going to keep on posting. As long as I'm inspiring somebody, I'm going to do this. It's something that I'm passionate about.
Is it your only income? This is what I have to be clear on. That's it.
Yeah, it's my side.
Exactly. For us,
is this your only income?
It's my core. It's what I've lived on since.
Really?
Yeah, for like 8 years.
Wow.
So
you're getting paid.
Sustainable. It can sustain you. So that's why
impressive.
when you're in conversation, that distinction is very. You have to
it's
be very
important,
clear.
yeah.
It won't affect you if it's not your only income. But if it's my income, it will affect you.
Yeah.
I see.
And if that's what you're only ranking me on, whereas there's just so many other moving parts that you need to understand as brand, you know?
Sure.
So have you survived all of this like fairly comfortably?
Oh, comfortably. Okay.
Okay. I'm getting paid.
And that's the thing. Like, it's not about, I was telling you, it's not about how many followers you have. It's just like, I consult with brands. I do, you have to, behind the scenes work, you have agency work you do, but it's all rooted in influencer marketing. So, yeah, there's a lot of different avenues you can tap into.
Sure.
Not just what the public is seeing.
Yes, certainly.